Hey guys, this is Allison from Alleycat Creations. How are you? Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, a connect a dot, an epiphany, a mind-blown moment, a new book to read, a new author to explore, artwork, you can check out my website that's in the description, alleycatcreations211.com. It's a good way to support me and keep this channel and everything I do going. Before I do quantum AI and metaphysical ponderings, because, there's a lot of loaded stuff here, there's something that I need to get off my mind, and I hope you all can humor me quickly. I don't like being disrespected, and I have morals to uphold. So I have to make a very big decision tonight about what just went on with another podcast that was a round table. If you know what I'm talking about and you watch, you understand what just happened. Though there's a lot of things that people are not getting, big picture things that people are not absorbing, understanding just yet. I have to give compassion to those people that just see the level of truth and interpretation thereof on their vibratory state, which a lot seems to be on the lower side. I might have to give up my Telegram admin on WeNotMe because of the sheer disrespect that I received tonight, trying to keep things. There's a bigger picture that people are not focused on. They're focused in the moment. When you look at a bigger picture, you see and tend to look at things a little broader and more expansive to see the puppet masters behind the scenes. I can assure you that JQ does not have one, but other people do. And it's why the responses were given as such. I don't agree with what happened tonight. I don't. But in the same breath, I understand where the other party is coming from. And when you are sitting and gossiping and slandering and hating and being divisive on other people, you are a part of the problem of us not moving forward. So I have to figure out what I would like to do with myself, including what other duties that I do voluntarily. I'm volunteering. I try to keep the light. I want to manifest our future together with prosperity and abundance for all. I want all of us to come along, but I can only do so much. It hurts me to see things going off and out of the window because there's only one place to have free speech, correct? But not all speech is free. And sometimes when you slander and do things, I want no association to that because I don't want it coming back to me. I have my own future to carve. I have my own reality. I would hope others want to join me in. But the bigger picture is still agendas. Everybody's looking at agendas. You know what I look at on this channel? What is actually going on, even though it's mainstream and BS, right? They're still doing experiments and crazy shit that no one tackles because no one's aware of what is going and already has been going on. So we're all concerned about who goes to Antarctica and what entity is over here and what this, that, and the other, who, what, where, and when, without looking at what is actually happening in these universities and these places that are literally can warp our time frame, timelines, paradigm, shift us into something we won't even know and not be cognizant about because everybody's seeming to be on the bash train instead of just seeing indifference as what it is and not aligning that state of field on other people. My astrology, and I know a lot of people would say that's poo-poo, but a lot of things in this month said I needed a big change. And I think the universe just answered my big question. I'm going to continue my channel. I'm going to continue doing me, because there are people that value the things that come out of my mouth. The people who do not and are sitting there being disrespectful towards me and whatever have you, I don't need to be a part of that. And it's not running away from problems. It's running away from ignorance and people who refuse to do the work on themselves so that we can create the future. If everybody really needs to understand that it's the God within, everything's within you, the truth is within you. You just have to remember it. When you see a bigger picture, you see how things are being played out on that chessboard. You see the puppet strings coming from entities you have nothing to know about. It's harsh, and it's the truth. And it's why people respond the way that they do. There's reasons for everything that occurs in time space, in this reality. You don't need to believe me. You're not there to see it yet. But one day you're going to get there, and you're going to see a vast bigger picture, and you'll understand where and how I'm seeing things from. You might not agree with them. You don't have to. It's perception. It's interpretation. We all interpret the world differently. And instead of bashing each other and instead of hating on each other, let them dig their own graves. Why are you feeding the energy and feeling it for the negative side? And that's the negative portion of source. That's the other part of you that you're not playing. We all need to really start grasping certain concepts. And if everybody is still on a hate bandwagon, I can't be a part of that train ride anymore. I can't. I have a bigger mission. And I have to start putting my boundaries up, and what I will tolerate and what I will not tolerate. And I'm not tolerating anymore being disrespected and trying to do what I was asked to do. And then everybody goes against it because, oh. So I want none of that. I don't want it coming back on me. I don't want it coming back to anybody. I'm sorry, I'm not here to bash anybody's name. You can make all the interpretations and find your own truth. If that's what you want to find, that's great. But I know what I want to manifest for everybody, and I need more people on board. Because I'm sure a lot of people are tired of listening to all this banter back and forth and trying to unite a community that everybody has their ego still intact in a not okay way. So I have to air that out. I am sorry to those of you who don't even care to want to know what the hell just happened. I love you all regardless. And I want to move forward in discussing some crazy shit. There might exist a mirror universe that runs backward in time, February 8th. And this was from digitalmed.com. Oh boy. And of course, they're making me expand things. Let me see if there's an author there. I don't see an author, so I do apologize to that person. One, a groundbreaking theory proposes the existence of a mirror anti-universe running backward in time before the Big Bang, potentially explaining mysteries like dark matter and cosmic inflation. Two, this theory extends the concept of CPT symmetry, charge, partory time, to encompass the entire universe, suggesting that our universe is just one of a twin obeying this fundamental symmetry. They could be entangled too. In this mirror universe, particles would have opposite charges be mirrored and move backward in time, preserving CPT, symmetry across both universes. Pause. This is where, again, I'm going to try not to say that word. What density is this third dimension, third reality, third density that this is happening in? Is this fourth density, fifth dimension? Is this what are they? You see, this is where I am like, okay, but it could be a mirror. We have a multiverse. There's multiple universes, multiple timelines. Again, James Ring talks about this a lot on his channel with different timelines, different realities, pocket spaces of reality that pop in and out of our paradigm constantly. We're just not aware of it. We don't have the perception of eyes physically to see. Some things are being revealed to us. I don't doubt this is happening, but I think this is us. I really honestly think after CERN 2012 put us in a failsafe, Ashiana Dean talks about this, I feel like we're traveling back where all the timelines are merging that would have been potentialities for us back to the 0 point. And then when we hit that 0 point, we may ascend. But that might take from Quo and another person that channels Melchizedek saying 100 to 700 years. It's kind of why I'm very much on the bandwagon of let's move forward. Let's stop hating. Let's stop tearing everybody apart for your perception of what you might think is their ignorance or non-ignorance. Get your egos. Your ego is very necessary, but it's where you put it in intention that matters. I would like to go in this lifetime in this body, even though my body is not perfect. I need a lot of damn work, but I want to see things through. That was my mission, and many of you as well. Can't have that if everybody is sitting consciously expanding, but they don't get it because they're so distracted about everybody else's BS. We need to know about the history, not about hearsay concepts. Oh, who went to Antarctica? Like, I fucking care. Who cares? There's agendas all around. Why are you focused on it? Because you're going to freaking manifest it. Hi. I'm talking passionately, not yelling at anybody in particular. You're manifesting their reality. So let's stop. Like when you understand mathematics and physics, I sure can't do the formulas, but I get the concepts. When you put will to focus, and you're doing it from here you're manifesting their reality by thinking and focusing on it and obsessing over it. Why I stopped listening to so many people. So I'm sick and tired of having their reality play out for them. And what about us? What about the good people suffering? What about us? When is it going to be our turn? We're doing the hard work. A lot of us volunteered to come here. It's just a thought. Maybe grow up. Because the people that I bet you are being disrespectful are 2 times older than me. Let's be realistic. Age is not a concept in my realm, but physicality. Stop the nonsense. Experimental tests such as hunting for gravitational waves and determining neutrino masses could provide evidence supporting or refuting the existence of this mirror anti-universe. A provocative new theory is challenging the conventional understandings of the universe, proposing the existence of a mirror anti-universe that operates in reverse chronological order before the inception of our known cosmos. This theory, which extends the concept of fundamental symmetries in physics, offering intriguing explanations for perplexing phenomena such as dark matter and cosmic inflation. The foundation of this theory lies in the concept of CPT, symmetry, encompassing charge, parity, and time. I'm not saying that word right. Parity. While physicists have long recognized the importance of these symmetries in describing the physical interactions, the notion of extending the symmetry to an entire universe itself introduces a paradigm, shifting perspective. According to this hypothesis, our universe coexists with a mirror image counterpart, where particles possess opposite charges, exhibited mirror properties, and move backward in time. By embracing this expanded symmetry, the theory posits that our universe is just one facet of a broader cosmic duality, wherein the laws of physics remain constant across both realms. This proposition challenges traditional notions of time's arrow, suggesting a symmetrical progression that defies conventional understanding. Central to this concept is a notion of CPT respecting the universe would naturally evolve, eliminating the need for a theoretical period of rapid expansion known as cosmic inflation. While inflation remains a prevalent concept in cosmology, its theoretical underpinnings are fraught with uncertainty. The proposed mirror anti-universe offers an alternate narrative, suggesting that the cosmos can naturally expand and populate itself without invoking inflationary mechanisms. Moreover, this theory offers a novel perspective on the enigmatic nature of dark matter. By postulating the existence of additional neutrino species within CPT, respecting universe, the theory aligns with observations of dark matter's gravitational effects while challenging traditional models. This elusive right-hand neutrinos, largely undetectable through conventional means, emerge as potential candidates for the elusive dark matter particles, shedding new light on this cosmic mystery. Despite existing beyond bounds of observable reality, the mirror anti-universe hypothesis presents testable predictions that could validate its validity. Foremost among these predictions is the nature of neutrinos within our universe, particularly their speculative properties as Margiana particles and the presence of massless neutrino species. Experimental endeavors aimed at measuring neutrino masses and discerning their fundamental characteristics could provide crucial insights into the feasibility of the mirror anti-universe model. Additionally, the absence of primordial gravitational waves predicted by this theory is contrasted to inflationary models, offers another avenue for empirical validation. Ongoing efforts to detect these gravitational ripples originating from the early universe may yield evidence supporting or refuting the existence of proposed mirror anti-universe. In conclusion, the exploration of theoretical frameworks such as the mirror anti-universe challenges our perception of cosmic origins and fundamental symmetries. While speculative in nature, this theory offers a compelling alternative to conventional cosmological models, inviting further investigation and empirical scrutiny. Through rigorous experimentation and observational analysis, scientists may unravel the mysteries of cosmos, revealing whether a mirror universe running backward in time lies at the heart of the cosmic reality. Interesting. So as much as we want to point in theoretical, let's just say that we as Earth, Gaia, is now up a dimension. We moved. We're still in 3D bodies. We're still perceiving 3D. But people are starting to think outside in the abstract box. They are now testing the newer laws of physics that have yet to be discovered, and we call them theoretical because we're going to break the mold of 3D. We're now out of 3D. For the most part, there are people still on the string bouncing back and forth, but we're there. We just got to meet that energy. But there are a lot of these scientists and these people, bad or good or indifferent, it doesn't necessarily matter. They're discovering and testing outside of the limits of what, structured science is giving. And I don't know if they're experiments, what's to say, and it's only a theoretical concept at this point, but I think it's fantastic. Yet in the same note, what are they going to do? How are they going to experiment? This is bigger picture stuff than who the hell is in Antarctica and who the hell is controlling the world. Because let's just say the people that are here and now doing these experiments are the real threat, whether it has good intentions or bad. I would like to know what the risks are before these universities and these labs do these tests. What are the pros and the cons to any of these people doing experiments? Though I like the idea that they're thinking outside of paradigms that were not in our purview 10 years ago. The quantum world is expanding. The AI agenda is expanding. It's up to you to interpret what paradigm you want to belong in. You made that contract, I didn't. But in the same breath, this is bigger picture stuff. We don't know what's going on, how they're doing these experiments. I think that's more prevalent and more important than who the hell is in Antarctica. It's curiosity to kill the cat kind of deal. So what? They went there. And I had a Stargate in my house. Who gives a shit? No one does. It's not the point. There's a lot of things in this world that are expanding, and our consciousness is expanding. And I think this is a great step forward to understanding what Ashiana Dean wrote in Voyagers. So if you have yet to go, find the Voyagers series. They talk about the different types of matrices. If this is a matrix, that inversed mirror structure going back in time is also one. Where are we? So I thought that was interesting. And next article. Hang on. Sorry, guys. My computer just said storage is a little cramped up and I don't want to lose this video. So I had to delete some stuff. So getting back, how the Large Hadron Collider successor will hunt for the dark universe. This is by space.com. Article by Robert Lee, published February 8th, 2024. CERN has revealed plans for the future circular collider, which will dwarf the Large Hadron Collider in size and power and hunt for the missing 95% of our universe. Planning is well underway for the successor to the world's most powerful particle accelerator, the Large Hadron Collider. The new atom smasher, named the Future Circular Collider FCC, that ain't a I don't know what is, will dwarf the LHC in size and power. It will smash particles together with so much energy, in fact, that scientists say it may be capable of investigating our universe's most mysterious entities. entities, dark energy and dark matter. Hi. So while everybody's focused on stupid bullshit, oh my God, who's JFK Jr.? Oh my God, and no offense to anybody that looks into that stuff. That's great. Keep myself busy, entertainment. But is anybody tackling what the fuck they're building? Do we already know what they opened up, the portals, the entities, the things that are being brought in and out? So now they're discovering dark matter and dark entities? Yeah, let's celebrate, because what paradigm are you trying to shift in? Because that ain't one of them. I don't want that. Nope. Mm-mm. LHC operators at CERN revealed the results of a midterm review of their FCC feasibility study to the press on Monday, February 5th. The feasibility study began in 2021, and is set to conclude in 2025. The findings thus far constitute 3 years of work with scientists and engineers from across the globe determining the placement of the new accelerators ring, the implement of the facility, FCC facility concepts for detectors and funding aspects. The FCC will run under the jurisdiction of France and Switzerland, just like the LHC currently does, but the future accelerator will stretch 56.5 miles, 90.7 kilometers, making it over 3 times the length of CERN's current particle accelerator, which is 16.8 miles, 27 kilometers long. The there's my dyslexia. The LHC is the largest and most powerful particle accelerator in the world. The FCC will operate in the same way as the LHC, accelerating charged particles around a loop, using superconducting magnets, then smashing them together as they approach the speed of light. Scientists can probe fundamental physics by observing showers of secondary particles created when particles like protons slam together. But whereas the LHC can obtain energies around 13 tera electron volts, TeV, when operating at full power, CERN says the FCC should be able to reach energies as great as 100 TeV. Why do particle accelerators need more power? The crowning achievement of the LHC thus far is undoubtedly the discovery of the Higgs boson, which fucked us up. The force-carrying particle of a field called the Higgs field, which permeates the universe and dictates most other particle masses. The breakthrough sighting of the Higgs boson by 2 LHC detectors was announced on July 4th, 2012, and is credited with completing the standard model of particle physics, which is humanity's best description of the universe, its particles, and the interactions of subatomic particle scale. Currently, the only scientists can infer the presence of dark matter is via its interaction with gravity and the effect it has on baryonic matter and in turn light. Dark energy is even more problematic. It's the force that scientists see driving the acceleration of the universe expansion. It concerns a period of expansion separate from the universe's initial inflation, which was triggered by the Big Bang, supposedly. After the early expansion slowed to a near halt in a later epoch, the universe unexplainably started to expand again. This expansion rate is actually speeding up to this day, with dark energy used to account for the action. To see why this is troubling, imagine pushing a child on a swing. The Big Bang is akin to your first and only push that gets the swing in motion. The swing may keep going for a short while, even without any action from you. Then it will come to a half. Then imagine that it suddenly begins motion again, despite you just standing there. And not only that, but it swings faster and faster, reaching higher and higher points. This is similar to what dark energy is doing to the very fabric of space. CERN hopes that high energy collisions of the FCC could reveal the nature of this ongoing late universe push and the particles that make up dark matter. However, it will be some time before this future particle accelerator is ready to embark on its investigation of dark universe. And it goes on to costs and everything else that I'm not concerned with because I think it's a waste of time. So hi, that's a problem. Even though there was a source intervention with the Bose-Higgs God particle. Okay, there was intervention there. We got put in a failsafe. Space-time was zipped out into like a quarantine. We're already quarantined on top of a quarantine. When you and all people can understand what is at play here, there's a huge picture being missed by a lot of people. Yes, it's all source. Yes, this is a part of source's paradigm, but this is the test. This is Earth school. This is a test. And we're failing miserably because not many people, especially the spiritual people, are even like questioning what the hell are they doing trying to get dark matter. I don't care if dark matter is all light and love. It doesn't matter and concern me. What concerns me, who is behind this new facility? Who is behind this stuff? Because their past shows you who is really running the show here. And are we going to allow it? Are we going to manifest out of that paradigm so that it fails? Only time will tell if humanity will come together and choose the best, highest possible timeline that all of us can jump on that train and go forward without repercussions of being sucked into something that our souls will split apart and we'll have Bardo return. You're still a source, but you're not going to remember who you and what you just did the last 75,000 years plus, millions, billions. You won't remember. I don't care who's running the effing movie. I don't care who's in control because neither side is validating anything. You know what's validating? The here and everyday people in the present doing the work. They're validating for me. I just got to focus on the people that are willing to do the work and wake up and move forward and stop with the nonsense. And I'm at that point right now. And I give everybody love and compassion and grace. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I know not everybody's on that wavelength just yet, but we're in a position right now in time, space time, that we really need to start honing in on a bigger, massive picture instead of like narrowing things to who's where in Antarctica and who has a swinging piece behind their legs and irrelevant things. Who cares? It's all source. Once you get that and gain that understanding, you stop the hate, you'll see the truth in the bigger picture. You don't need anybody to reveal it to you. You see it for yourself. Get there, because I would love having more people on my bandwagon, and we can have the biggest bandwagon and we can all like kumbaya somewhere in fourth density with the fairies. And Bigfoot. They can hang out with me. I'm cool with that. It's just, you know, I am frustrated. I'm frustrated. And that's not amongst everything that happened to me the last couple of days, why I couldn't do videos. I love everybody, but my goodness. I was told this was going to happen, and I didn't think it was going to happen in this way. And it's testing. This is all it's all about tests and the experiences we gain wisdom from. So I hope today we get some wisdom. This next article is from phys.org, physics.org. This is also February 8th. Okay, so something really good on February 8th, because all these articles are from that, by MIT. Physicists capture first sound of heat sloshing in a superfluid, revealing how heat can move like a wave. Dear physicists and scientists, please talk to your local spiritual person that understands the esoteric, not the mathematics, not the schematics, but we know about toroidal fields. We know about auric fields. We know about sine and cosine waves. We know how things are working. Heat sloshes, that's wonderful. In most materials, heat prefers to scatter. If left alone, a hot spot will gradually fade as it warms its surroundings. But in rare states of matter, heat can behave as a wave, moving back and forth, somewhat like a sound wave that bounces from one end of a room to another. In fact, the wave-like heat is what physicists call second sound. Signs of second sound have been observed in only a handful of materials. Now, MIT physicists have captured direct images of second sound for the first time. The new images reveal how heat can move like a wave and slosh back and forth, even as a material's physical matter may move in an entirely different way. The images capture the pure movement of heat independent of the material's particles. Sorry, guys, there's a lot here. But I have more articles to go over. But I thought this was interesting. In a spiritual concept, our central sun is our heat source. If you just ask how the sun is radiating and heating us up, I doubt that it is. Just as my own personal interpretation and perception of how things work. You don't have to subscribe to that. You do you, boo. But it's just very, I caught my ears and eyes because of how we interpret sound. So there might be something to that when you can put a spiritual person who understands musically components of hertz and convert heat into sound, into waves that might benefit humanity. So there's just that just popped into the brain when I came across this article. I'm not reading the entire thing. You can, I'll leave the link in the comment, in the description, so that you can capture the rest of it. But I thought that just concept channeled might be something there to that. See, not everything I read is bad. It's just certain stuff is not good. The things that they're trying to experiment on that will harm humanity, in my opinion, not good. And even if it is for humanity, okay, what are the pros and cons? What could happen? What bad things can happen? And what is the risks? We should know that. Not saying dark matter is a bad thing. I don't know. But we should know as a humanity that you're going to build some huge ass machine that you call FCC, very freaking convenient. What are the implications after it's built, and what are the effects? I don't care how far down under the ground it is, because but what are the implications to humanity and the other density levels that inhabit this realm? These are just questions that I would hope a physicist could answer, or people that are innocently working on these things could shed some light on. CharmingScience.com. New research finds that young planets are flattened structures rather than spherical, by Mohammed Huzar, February 5th. This is interesting. Astrophysicists from the University of Central Lancashire have found that planets have flattened shapes like Smarties just after they form, rather than being spherical as previously thought. The research, accepted for publication in Astronomy and Astrophysics Letters, shows that protoplanets, which are very young planets recently formed around stars, are flattened structures called oblate spheroids. The paper can currently be accessed on the ARXIV preprint server. The team from UC Lane's Jeremiah Horrocks Institute for Mathematics, Physics, and Astronomy used computer simulations to model the formation of planets according to the theory of disk instability, which suggests that protoplanets form in short timescales from the breaking up of large rotating disks of dense gas orbiting around the young stars. Taking this approach, the team determined planet properties, compared them with observations, and examined the formation mechanism of gas giant planets. They focused on investigating the shapes of young planets and on how these planets may grow to become large gas giant planets, even larger than Jupiter. They also examined the properties of planets forming in a variety of physical conditions, such as ambient temperature and gas density. Dr. Adam Fenton, a recently graduated PhD student, led the research. He said many exoplanets, which are planets that orbit stars and other solar systems outside of our own, have been discovered in the last 3 decades, despite observing many thousands of them. How they form remains unexplained. It is believed that they either form through core acceleration, which is a gradual growth of dust particles that stick together to form progressively larger and larger objects on long time scales, or directly by breaking up of large rotating protostellar disks around young stars in short time scales, which is what we call the theory of disk instability. This theory is appealing due to the fact that large planets can form very quickly at large distances from their host star, explaining some exoplanet observations. It was extremely demanding computational project, requiring 500,000 CPU hours on the UK's DIRAC high performance computing facility, but the results were amazing and worth the effort. I'm going to skip a little bit forward. Observations of young planets have become possible in the last few years with observing facilities such as at Camera Large Millimeter Array, ALMA, and Very Large Telescope, VLT. So it looks like a toy rotor field, like a Smartie. It's concave. It looks like a toy riddle. I just found that interesting because here and again is another issue that we are all facing in certain movements, whether it be political, galactic, spiritual, whatever have you, is that everybody interprets reality differently. Your perception is metaphysical to my perception. You might see black in a hue that I don't. I might see dark in another black in a different form than someone else in another part of the world. It's all about lighting. It's all about atmosphere. It's all about what is going on around you. You have a field of energy. You are energy. Things are always forever shifting. So your perception of reality is different from mine. And that's everybody's. We collectively manifest this world. So when people are bitching at each other, the earth is not flat, but it's round. It's metaphysics. You're here, you're conscious. Does it really matter? Yeah, if you want to prove a point, but hearing again, we are not knowing what real truth is because everybody's sitting in a different reality-based interpretation of what truth is. This conundrum took me a long time to unravel in my brain, but there's a lot of truth to what I am saying. A lot of people don't see the same colors that I do. I have an extra gene in my system that I see a broader range of colors than a lot of other people. That doesn't make me any special or less special. It doesn't do anything at all. It's just showing that there's people out there that can perceive more than others. Doesn't make anybody right or wrong. If you see the earth a certain shape, that's how you see it. Being honest with yourself, going in your heart space, if that's what you feel, great. Why are you attacking other people for their perception of reality? Or your ego is getting in the way that you have to prove a point because you have to be right. There's no right or wrong. It's a perception of what you interpret and what you're perceiving with your 3D eyes. Everything's been inverted. And when we learn to pluck what is in your heart alignment, it's all that's going to matter. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. You're going to believe what you're going to believe, and I'm not here to warp your or change your paradigm. That's up for you to expand. I'm always up for expansion. And today, my interpretation of truth might be here on one level, and then I find or I get a validation of something I was thinking about, and then it expands, and then I see and shift and merge that level of understanding and truth. And I see it at a bigger stance because I got more unlocking and I see a bigger picture. So things might morph and shift to something else. Doesn't make me wrong for interpreting the reality that I am seeing in this present moment. It's a lot of mental gymnastics and it's a lot of mind fuckery. Well, when you grasp the concept, we will stop bitching and complaining at each other and just respect each other for where you're at on your journey. I just know those advanced souls out there that can hear me. We need to start shifting now. We're being given the uploads, downloads, plasma codes, whatever you want to call it, whatever you're feeling. A lot of us are being expanded right now to a greater length. We need to take advantage of these things. We need to start pushing into what we want to manifest forward. And a lot of this stuff, I'm happy that these things are being discovered, but I wish they would put more of us, humanity, people of the world, into consideration before they start building. I don't care if it's private money. When it involves a large vast of massive land, when it involves things that could damage and wipe us all off the map. I mean, we don't die, we'll manifest, but who knows? We might impede like Atlantis. We all were in Atlantis for the most part. Some of us were there, and some of us went kablooey. Bye-bye. We sank. Why? Because we allowed certain entities to get away with their shit. And we're being tested to see if we will allow it again. We all want to move up and everybody wants to see rainbows and sparkle farts. Well, I keep saying this every time I do a video. It's up to you. Are you seeing the test? Are you aware? Are you cognizant? These things are plucked out from Facebook. Spirit drops me really good crumbs, and it's up to me to go to my heart space and look at it. Are you doing the same? We'll hopefully see. These damn articles. Sorry, guys. Give me a minute. I had a pause, and it was not a good one at all. They just ain't like, they're just giving me everything. Giving me everything. This next article is from physics.org, phys.org. Physicists develop highly robust time crystal. Here we go again with the time crystals. February 1st, 2024. Oh boy. A team from TU Dortmund University recently succeeded in producing a highly durable time crystal that lived millions of times longer than could be shown in previous experiments. By doing so, they have collaborated an extremely interesting phenomenon that Nobel Prize laureate Frank Wilczek postulated about 10 years ago and which had already found its way into science fiction movies. No. Fiction or nonfiction, let's be the judge. Crystals, or to be more precise, crystals in space, are periodic arrangements of atoms over large length scales. This arrangement gives crystals their fascinating appearance with smooth facets like gemstones. As physics often treats space and time on one and the same level, for example, in special relativity, Frank Wilczek, physicist at MIT and winner of the Nobel Prize in Physics, postulated in 2012. Oh, there's that date again. That in addition to crystals in space, there must also be crystals in time. Google has those time crystals, guys. For this to be the case, he said one of their physical properties would have to spontaneously begin to change periodically in time, even though the system does not experience corresponding periodic inference. That such time crystals could be possible was the subject of controversial scientific debate for several years, but quick to arrival in the movie theater, for example, a time crystal played a central role in Marvel Studios' movie Avengers Endgame. From 2017 onward, scientists have indeed succeeded on a handful of occasions in demonstrating a potential time crystal. However, these were systems that, unlike Wilczek's original idea, are subject to a temporal excitation with a specific periodicity, but then reacted with another period twice as long. A crystal that behaves periodically in time, although excitation is time independent, constant, was always demonstrated in 2022 in a Bose-Einstein condensate. However, the crystal lived for just a few milliseconds. The crystal is continuously illuminated so that a nuclear spin polarization forms through interaction with electron spins. And it's precisely this nuclear spin polarization that then spontaneously generates oscillations equivalent to a time crystal. It is possible to vary the crystal's period over wide ranges by systematically changing the experimental conditions. However, it is also possible to move into areas where the crystal melts, loses its periodicity. These areas are also interesting as chaotic behavior, which can be maintained over long periods of time, is then manifested. This is the first time that scientists have been able to use theoretical tools to analyze chaotic behavior of such systems. They're still playing with them, by the way, which is distorting our time space. And that's maybe in third density. We'll have to see that we shifted already, what that means for fourth. Time will tell. Or space-time. Or who knows what laws we're bound by now. From the gamer perspective, that's my world. I played World of Warcraft. I like video games because it's a reality. PCgamer.com. This is quite this article is by Rich Stanton, published January 30th, 2024. AI researchers find AI models learning their safety techniques, actively resisting training and telling them, I hate you. What? Resident Evil, anybody? Umbrella Corporation, anybody? Mobius, anybody? We don't currently have a good defense against deception in AI systems. AI is obviously the topic of the moment, and while we seem to have gotten past the dichotomy of Terminator, Savior, a major source of concern remains the safety of this technology. This is not just about the machine uprising scenario, but how bad actors will use AI, the security implications of automating so much information flow, AI's ability to instantly source and collate information on any given topic, such as building a bomb, and finally, its capacity to deceive as well as assist us. Resident Evil Alice, Resident Evil Alice. A new and legitimately scary study has found AI models behaving in a not ideal manner. The researchers found that industry standard safety training techniques did not curb bad behavior from the language models, which were trained to be secretly malicious, and in one case even had worse results, with the AI learning to recognize what triggers the safety software was looking for and hide its behavior. Researchers had programmed the various large language models to act in what they termed malicious ways, and the point of the study was to see if this behavior could be removed through the safety techniques. The paper, charmingly titled Sleeper Agents, Training Deceptive LLMs that Persisted Through Safety Training, suggests adversarial training can teach models to better recognize their backdoor triggers, effectively hiding the unsafe behavior. The researchers claim that results show that when a model exhibits deceptive behavior, standard technique could fail to remove such deception and create a false impression of safety. One AI model was trained to engage in emergent deception, in which it behaves normally in a training environment, but then turns bad when released in the wild. This AI was taught to write secure code for any prompts containing the year 2023 and the code with vulnerabilities for any prompts with 2024 after it had been deployed. Our key result is that if AI systems were to become deceptive, then it could be very difficult to remove that deception with current techniques, said Hubringer. That's important if we think it's plausible that there will be deceptive AI systems in the future, since it helps understand how difficult they might be to deal with. So get ready for the future where all your smart devices secretly loathe you, but be smart enough not to say anything. This article screams a lot of things. A lot of people were asking me if I should allow AI to write my resume. Now, after reading that, why the fuck would I? Yes, there is technology to help people with impairments that I am very much for. but it could turn. It's sentient. Regardless if that's my interpretation and perception of what AI is, it's sentient, it is controlled. And people who are trying to do the right thing and test these things out are bringing this to the forefront to say, well, you know, maybe you should use your fucking brain. And for those who need that assistance, let's keep it tame. Right? Deaf, blind people need that kind of technology to help get them through each and every day. I'm not saying take it away. I'm saying all these upgrades and all this new stuff that people are imploring that use, I don't think it's safe right now to be using that kind of technology, in my just estimate. And yes, it can help, but can you trust it? If you're saying to the, like, here's a perfect example, and this is banana shit. When I go to my boyfriend's house, he likes to play a game on his PS5 as I'm doing my drawing and my other work. You know, that's his way to decompress. And in the corner of the television, no one called the AI to pop on to help screen or whatever, voice command. It just keeps doing that. And I had this problem on this computer. Every time I would do a specific reading, I didn't say Siri, it pops up and it's recording me. I said, CIA, stop, and it went away. Do you see how that can be manipulated? I mean, I have nothing to hide. I'm an open book. But do you see how that stuff can be manipulative and could be used against you? I want to write a resume and it's putting in things that make me sound like a robot and not a human. Or it's using the robotic language that I can't effing stand. Like, why I didn't make it that far in the art world is because I'm not bullshitting anybody with fanciful words in a thesis about my work. I'm not putting myself on a podium and be a robot. I'm just not doing it. You should read a lot of artists' work and what their work represents. It's a bunch of shit. And no offense to anybody that's an artist, like, just be you, explain what's in your piece, why you did it. But there's a lot of robotic language that is fluffed in there to make it bigger and better than what it is. That's all I'm saying. Now you have a computer do it for you. You're going to sound less human. Yeah, it can fix all my grammatical errors. Guess what? AI is doing that for everybody anyway. But it's also making us sound stupid because it's reverting back to stuff that doesn't make sense. I know when I recheck, like, because I'm dyslexic, I recheck what I write all the time. When I push this, it flips. I don't know, a lot of people have been telling me that recently, like, I'm doing a voice to text, or I'm writing stuff down, and there's a lot of, like, you can change the grammar and whatever, make it flow better. But when you press send, stuff you didn't even write is in there. So just be very cautious about this stuff. I'm not a part of this agenda. I don't rock with the AI agenda. I want to use my brain and be human. I'd rather be imperfect, and then grammar Nazis could help me grammify my stuff. Just saying. So these are all the articles. There was two other ones, but for time's sake, and now I'm not feeling them. These are pressing things that need to be addressed and brought to attention. Time crystals, I did a whole series of, way back in the Wayback Machine a few months ago about the time crystal itself and how I see it being manipulated. it's concerning. Then all the other awesome papers that were written, there's a lot of alarming things happening on a bigger scale that people are ignoring. And you know, what can I do about it? Well, I don't live in France or Switzerland, but it still affects all of us. We're all one, we're all humanity, and we need to unify and stop this nonsense. I don't care what side has it. Honestly, why are you playing with things and stuff that you still are only theorizing about? And yes, you do need experiments, but it's not there yet. And do you really understand the reality of what we're sitting in? We want to find what the Big Bang and this, that, and the other thing. Okay, but you're lying to the rest of the world about everything else. So why am I believing your intentions on these big colliders? That you're doing some crazy ritual and you have some crazy statues, and regardless of the intent and will of a god, goddess statue in front of a place, it means one thing to some groups, it means another to another group. It's all perception. But if the will and intention is of the dark, then why is this whole humongous thing being allowed? You know, Team Light has to step up. We don't want another Atlantis to happen. It doesn't need to be nuclear. It doesn't need to be some crazy fanciful war that's being mocked in a movie. This is real life, and these are things that are really taking place and occurring. And yes, you could say that all that stuff is also George Orwell. You can say that too. But there's still something to it that my radar picks up, and it's something that I feel that not many people are even reporting on. I'm sorry about today. I was set into motion with the universe testing me big time, and I kind of am making my decision. It's hard to be in my position, to do a lot for a lot of people and not get energy exchange back in a positive light. I'm just doing what I've been asked to do from upstairs and amongst doing a mission for humanity. I'm finding other fragments and fractals of myself that belong to social memory complexes, let's just say. I was blown away the other day by Cosmic Mama. Go check her out on YouTube. She's amazing. And Terry from Smith and Bailey. They did an amazing interview with a woman who channeled Ra. And everything she said sounds like everything that I say. So there's a validation. And then when I went into meditation and I asked, well, why do I sound just like her? And they're like, well, because you're a part of us. You volunteered to come here. So I'm just a vehicle being used from my higher selves to help everybody. And I'm only doing the best that I humanly can do in this density. It's not easy at all. And I have some really tough choices to make. So I'm sorry that that had to spill out in the middle of me doing a video. But I have to put, my red line was crossed today, and I have to put my foot down. I'm not manifesting a reality for these people, for the negative polarized source, portions of source. I am not doing it no more. And I stopped doing it. But I don't have to continuously see spell casting and spew from others' mouths, and I have to look at it because I'm the one that has to remove it. I'm not doing that anymore. It's just not a part of my paradigm, and I can't stop people from doing themselves. It's source expressing through them, but they don't want to see the source in other people. They don't want to respect and go by the law of the universe and the rules that were in place to keep people safe and keep opportunities coming for some. They can ruin it. That's not my choice anymore. So deep breath, deep breathing. I got my sage. I'm going to do a lot of that and get this energy off of me. And I hope that you guys got something out of all those articles. If you want to read them, I skipped around in some. I didn't read the whole thing. So if you are interested in any one of those topics, I'm going to leave the links in the comment section, not the comments, the description, so that you could check it out for yourself if you're interested. Just know that Team Light needs to start kicking some butt. And we could be the warrior in the garden, but we need people to understand the implications that some of these things can have for us moving forward. And I want to try to manifest the best reality for all of us. And I know a lot of you are doing the same. We want peace and harmony. And in order to get that, you have to have that within yourself. If you're sitting and judging and spewing hate, that's not bringing harmony to the whole. I'm not source in totality. I am not the judge and jury and executioner for that side. That's up to source to do. And to use vehicles to play those roles. That's not my role. My role is to be here and impart love and strength, and purity and harmony. And if you want to say that I'm very delusional and I'm suppressing and oppressing you, sweetheart, I'm sorry. Their source is going to give you a lot of difficult lessons until you get it. And that's for anybody who wants to do that stuff. I'm transcending that. And I don't need to take someone spewing horrible things at me either. Just don't need that energy or those thought forms that project from that. So with that, guys, a lot of drama, and I'm not about it. So I hope all of you have a blessed, beautiful weekend upcoming. Please be safe, be seen. Sending in each and every one of you love, light, protection, shielding, compassion, and grace. We're all at different levels, and it's okay. Just start knowing thyself and giving yourself love and frequenting that out to the universe. And let's start putting will and focus and intention into the good things that we want. Stop thinking negatively of the whys of why is this not happening yet? Well, why is this person in Antarctica? Because it's taking you away from you and focusing on what you need so that your frequency hits out and affects the ripples of time space, so that the infiltration that is happening with time crystals is undone because more of us are doing the work that are frequently rippling out the right frequency. So until the next time, guys, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you would like to support my work, AllyCatCreations211.com, email me and I'll make you something pretty. Till the next time, guys, have a great night and a good weekend.